What's up, everybody? Tyson Roush. Let's talk Jets. Recapping the preseason game. Sorry this didn't go out last night. I was just really annoyed and frustrated. So probably would not have been much quality. Not that this is going to be much better, but thank you to everybody that tuned in last night. We definitely appreciate it. And thank you for the chat, man. We genuinely enjoy talking to everybody in the chat. And times like this, we're all in this together, and it makes it kind of a little more enjoyable with the jokes and the former scout mentions and everything else. So thank you for that. Preseason game number one, you know there's no game planning, you know there's no scheming, you know there's gonna be a lot of mistakes, it's gonna be ugly football. But for me, I was really excited about this game because you want to see all these young players finally take the field. You want to see their energy, their passion, them flying around. The defense comes out and you're like, what is this? Like they almost weren't even trying. They were flat. It was gross, no coverage, no tackling, truly going through the motions. So then, the most anticipated thing was Zach Wilson and the offense. So Zach Wilson in the offense comes out. He had an errant throw. It just didn't look very good at all. But you're like, all right. You're hoping that just like the light turns on, and then he throws an interception. The same kind of interception we saw early last year. But in your back of your mind, you're like, all right, there's going to be a lot of overreactions, but let's understand preseason game number one. Maybe he's amped up, whatever it is. Defense goes back on the field. Doesn't really do much again. Another touchdown. You're like, this game is gross. It was just gross. It really was. So then Zach comes back out. You're like, you knew he's only playing 2 series. So you want to see him do something. Just put something together and let's all move on and just, live for another day. Well, that doesn't happen. Zach rolls out, scrambles. He gets hurt. I don't care if it was the sod. I don't care if it was. He's playing hero football. It is what it is. He's hurt. So instantly, social media doctors are automatically saying torn ACL. We don't really know. Now they're saying it could be a PCL. I'll do another video when the actual diagnosis comes out. But what a setback. And it basically took the wind out of all of us. Like you're sitting here with, like this is the year for Zach. Take that next step. So we start to know what he is by the end of this year. That's what we're hoping for. If he misses a significant amount of time, it's a setback. And then just as a fan, I'm tired of setbacks. I just want to see things go, just smoothly so we can just finally believe in the team, buy in, and just all watch a young team grow and mature and progress and produce together. So it was definitely a setback, and it's just, man, I can't even fathom him out for the year. And if he misses 6 to 8 weeks, you become a little bit alarmed because, Joe Flacco is what he is. He's a veteran quarterback. He's older, not a lot of mobility, playing behind a revamped offensive line, not an ideal situation. So I'll go more into Zach, in my next video. But, other than that, Mike White came in. And the one thing about Mike White, he always looks comfortable, man. He looks comfortable in the pocket. Looks very comfortable in the offense. He knows his reads. He gets rid of the ball. He has some zip. He has some fire. I like the way he plays. I'm not saying he should play with Flacco. I'm just saying when you look at Zach and Mike White when they start out, Mike White just looks really comfortable. It's hard to explain, I guess you watch it. But to me, fascinating nonetheless. The running back position, Breece Hall, he reminds me a lot of like LaDainian Tomlinson, but he's almost like a little bit bigger. He has those cutbacks. He doesn't force his runs. He looks really good. I can't wait to see him be, in a legitimate game behind the line. It's playing, in game action that matters. Zonovan Knight made a really good performance for himself as well. Long touchdowns. He returning kicks. He's very powerful and quick for his size. I think he has a really good chance of making the roster. Michael Pirine, I think his days are numbered. He always seems to be falling down. I know the Jets like him as like that short yardage power back. I just don't see it. But again, I'm just a fan. Wide receiver group, which, Denzel Mims starts out good, couple catches. Then he has an illegal formation penalty and a drop. That kind of summarizes what he did last year too. It's like anytime there's a positive, it's like boom. He's still like that roller coaster ride. Jeff Smith had a nice catch. Calvin Jackson had a really good showing for himself. Rashard Davis, he did a few nice things as well. You saw some good things from Garrett Wilson too. Had a couple catches. Very intense player, man. He is always amped up. It's just he's definitely an intense guy. Tight end position, Jeremy Rucker gets his first touchdown. Tyler Conklin showing everything that everybody's talking about in practice. He had like 3 or 4 grabs. I almost thought he played too long. Lawrence Cager came in towards the end, started really taking off a little bit as well. You could see he put on some size as a tight end. He's big, he's fast. I think it comes down to his ability to block and just probably adjust his routes. But, definitely some promise there where you see the skill positions, there's a lot of really good things. The offensive line, to be completely transparent with you, it's hard to watch the offensive line play when we're streaming because you're kind of like watching this and you're watching the chat. So I really can't give you a good evaluation there. I know that, Adoga and Max Mitchell started. The Jets struggled to run the ball early on in the game because they just couldn't get any. They weren't blocking really pretty much anybody. So that's kind of hard to say what was going on. On defense, Quincy Williams had a ridiculous late hit on Jalen Hurts. It was embarrassing. It was pathetic, especially in the preseason game. It was high. It was just, and it was on third down to boot. So not a good play by Quincy Williams. Robert Saleh did hold him accountable and blasted him after the game, which is the way you got to handle it. The one thing I don't understand with Quincy Williams, when you have a flagrant, ridiculous, dumb penalty like that, why is he in the game on the next play? You take him out. Like there's got to be a repercussion. Now maybe that's the old Bill Parcells in me, but that's something that happened last year too, where guys were having back-to-back penalties still in the game. Nathan Shepard, last year, dumb face mask penalty still in the game. Like there's got to be some kind of accountability. But again, that to me was really annoying. The defensive line did Carl Lawson didn't play. There's a lot of really good things I liked. Michael Clemens has a relentless motor as advertised, very intense, very fiery, flying around. Zuniga, who I thought was gone, a couple of years ago, I wrote him off as a complete bust, has been relentless. Definitely impressive, always around the ball, making a lot of moves. Tanzel Smart, who's really growing on me, getting a lot of pressure, always around the ball as well. Bryce Huff, a lot of speed. Him and Jacob Martin on the outside are really, really interesting. But you could just see the difference. Like, you could see the explosive guys and the guys that are just trying to shed blocks. Bryce Huff is definitely making an impact. The linebackers, other than that, it's just Jamien Sherwood showed some decent things. Nasruddin was out there. Marcel Harris, definitely, I think he's a hybrid safety linebacker. He made some nice plays. Other than that, I'm trying to think if I missed anybody. I don't think so. It's just after the Zach Wilson stuff, man, you're just like, you don't even know what to do. The kickers, I don't know. It's a preseason game, but definitely some highlights. Definitely some young players on the rise. It's going to be interesting to see how the news comes out today about Zach, how the team responds to it. You have You have about a month till the first regular season game, but it's tough times, man. It's like you don't know. We all got to buy in and rally in about whatever happens, but just never seems to be easy. You know what I mean? There's always it's like whenever things get really, really good, something always smacks the Jets in the face. And I'm an older fan, so I remember quarterbacks getting hurt in the preseason, Sanchez and Chad Pennington. So, and this is the time where members of the media, like Rich Cimini, they live for this kind of shit because now it's endless content. It's endless debates. Should it be Mike White versus Joe Flacco? Who's going to be the quarterback? Should the Jets trade for Jimmy G? Then you have the Sam Darnold bullshit, which is an absolute no thank you for me. So we'll see what happens. Never a dull moment. Thank you for watching this video. This is probably not one of my better ones because the preseason, I'm just really annoyed. So I'll talk to you guys later.